Let's go Broncos! Could the Denver Broncos be the perfectly constructed team to break the NFL's most dominant winning streak and expose the reigning Super Bowl champions as frauds in the process? I've got insider details, film analysis, and some explosive insights that will shake your confidence in the so-called invincible Eagles. We're talking hidden weaknesses, tactical mismatches, and a new offensive weapon in Denver that's turning heads across the league. But before we dive into all that, be sure to like this if you're a diehard Broncos fan who bleeds orange and blue. And let me know in the comments, go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue. This helps the video reach more fans like you and takes this conversation straight to the heart of Broncos country. Now let's get to the point, because what's happening inside the Broncos locker room could change the entire course of the NFL season. The Denver Broncos are gearing up for a monumental showdown, facing off against a team on a staggering 20-game win streak, including a Super Bowl victory and a dominant win over the Kansas City Chiefs. The odds seem stacked against Denver. After all, the Broncos haven't won at that stadium in nearly 40 years. But the reality? This Eagles team, for all its hype, looks beatable, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Let's start with Bo Nix. Early in the season, he struggled noticeably against zone coverage. But something has clicked. His performance has steadily improved, and now he's operating at a level comparable to Matthew Stafford and even hovering below Patrick Mahomes in advanced metrics. That's no fluke. Bo is dissecting both man and zone defenses with increasing confidence, showing that he's starting to understand and exploit NFL coverages like a veteran. And speaking of coverage, zone defense is going to be a massive key in this matchup. Why? Because Jalen Hurts, the Eagles' signal caller, is significantly less effective against zone. When facing man coverage, Hurts can thrive, but put him against a disciplined zone and he starts slipping into mediocrity, with names like Geno Smith and Tua Tagovailoa outperforming him. That's exactly the kind of defensive game plan Denver needs to lean into. Now here's where it gets spicy. Jason Kelce himself spoke out about how the Eagles want to attack. He basically said if the Broncos shadow A.J. Brown with Patrick Surtain too, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, it actually helps Philadelphia. That's right. Despite Surtain's elite lockdown capabilities, matching him in man coverage plays into the Eagles' hands. That tells you just how dangerous Philly is when you give them man-to-man looks. The smarter move? Keep Surtain in the secondary and zone, frustrate Hurts, and eliminate the explosive plays. And then there's the psychology of it all. If Surtain shuts down A.J. Brown, frustration builds, not just on the field, but inside the Eagles' locker room. We've already seen signs of tension, with Brown tweeting cryptic messages about being underused. That pressure could unravel Philly from within, and you better believe Sean Payton is thinking about that. Another critical factor? The Broncos' defense needs to stay relentless when the play breaks down. Hurts is most dangerous when he's on the move, scrambling and buying time. That's when he makes those jaw-dropping throws. So the edge rushers, guys like Jonathan Cooper, must stay hungry, disciplined, and in pursuit until the whistle. Zone coverage can hold the back end. The front seven just needs to contain and collapse the pocket. But let's take a step back. This Eagles win streak, it's looking a little fraudulent under the microscope. Take the Buccaneers game. They were without star tackle Tristan Wirfs, wide receiver Mike Evans, and lost their starting running back mid-game. Jalen Hurts didn't even complete a pass in the second half, and yet they squeaked out a win. That's not dominance. That's survival. Against the Chiefs? Sure, they won. But Kansas City was missing Xavier Worthy and didn't have a functional run game. Even Chiefs insiders were more impressed with KC's fight than with Philly's performance. Then there's the Cowboys, who only put up 24 points on this defense. And the Rams game? If not for a blocked field goal, they lose. That's not the 1985 Bears steamrolling teams. It's a house of cards that's ready to fall. Let's not forget the infamous tush push. It's become the Eagles' signature, nearly unstoppable in short yardage. And yeah, Denver is a bit undersized up front. But Payton and the defense are attacking it strategically. The goal is to avoid third and short entirely. Shut it down on first and second down, and you never even face the nightmare scenario. Now, this is where it gets truly exciting. Kay Adams just dropped a massive scoop. Denver has found their joker. And no, it's not Evan Ingram. It's R.J. Harvey. That's right. The same Harvey who shined in the passing game. The same Harvey who Sean Payton and Davis Webb were hyped about post-game. His ability to run both inside and outside, coupled with the elite offensive line in front of him, yes, the top-rated O-line in the entire league by PFF, makes him a weapon in the mold of Alvin Kamara during his breakout. And don't sleep on J.K. Dobbins. While splitting snaps, he's averaging 5.7 yards per carry, more than Saquon Barkley, who's playing almost every snap. Dobbins has been reliable, efficient, and explosive even against elite defenses. Pair him with Harvey and you've got one of the nastiest backfield duos in the NFL. Add in Bo Nix playing clean, turnover-free football behind the best pass-blocking left tackle in football, Garrett Bowles, and suddenly, the Broncos' offense doesn't just look competent, it looks dangerous. If you ask me, sticking with zone might be the smartest play Sean Payton could make in this situation. Think about it, Certain is undeniably elite, but when you know the opposing quarterback thrives on man coverage, why feed into that strength? The Broncos have shown they can suffocate offenses when they commit to zone, especially with a front seven that's starting to impose its will. The last thing you want to do is give Hurts a defense that plays into his rhythm. You force him into zone reads, make him hold the ball, let your pass rush get home, and you start tilting the game in your favor. And here's something else flying under the radar, the psychology of A.J. Brown. If you leave him frustrated, if he feels like he's not involved or can't get separation, the tension builds. We've already seen the social media outbursts and cryptic posts. If Certain erases him in man, sure, that's a win. But if the rest of the defense gets shredded because Philly found ways to counter it, that's a net loss. It's about strategy over pride. Winning the war, not the individual battle. What gives me hope is how this Broncos coaching staff is adapting. We're seeing growth from Bo Nix every single week. The offense is no longer stuck in neutral. Timing, execution, play calling, it's all starting to click. And when your quarterback starts playing smart, efficient football behind an elite offensive line, things get dangerous in a hurry. Nix isn't trying to be a hero every snap. He's letting the game come to him. His trust in R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins is a massive reason why. R.J. Harvey, man, that dude is Joker written all over him. We're seeing the Kamara comparisons for a reason. His burst, his balance, his ability to get vertical after the catch, he brings a completely different dimension to this offense. The fact that he's becoming a safety valve for Bo, especially in blitz situations, tells you that the trust is real. This isn't a gadget guy or a one-game wonder. This is a featured weapon who's just getting started. And J.K. Dobbins, his production speaks for itself. Despite limited snaps, he's already outproducing Saquon Barkley in rushing yards. That's not just impressive, it's elite. The Broncos are finally using him correctly. No more wasted series, no more slow starts. When Dobbins gets touches, the chains move. And this Eagles defense? They haven't seen a rushing attack like this. Not from a duo that can hit you in the mouth between the tackles and bounce it outside for a home run on the next snap. We're also seeing a more physical Broncos team across the board. The offensive line is pushing people around. Garrett Bowles, the highest-rated pass blocker in the NFL, is playing like a man possessed. That kind of protection gives Bo Nix the confidence to step up and deliver. He's not running for his life. He's working within the pocket, going through his reads, and putting the ball where it needs to be. And when you combine that with two dynamic backs, a smart head coach, and a defense that can keep Hurts uncomfortable, you've got a recipe for a serious upset. Now let's talk defense again. The Broncos' defensive front knows exactly what's coming from Philly. The tush push is the Eagles' ace up the sleeve in short yardage, but the Broncos aren't trying to play hero ball and stop it on 4th and 1. The real game plan is keeping them out of those situations altogether. Win on 1st and 2nd down. Force longer conversions. That's when you make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable. That's when he starts forcing throws. That's